Doesn't matter what decade or country it's from, Al's D&I can fix them. Check in at Al's D&I on Sturgis Road and online at alsdniautorepair.com.
Are you thinking about starting or expanding a business? At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, our dedicated business lending team focuses on understanding our members' unique needs and truly wants to help them succeed. From the loans to get your business off the ground to the accounts to keep it running, we offer unique products with your business's best interest in mind. Learn more at bhfcu.com or text or call 605-718-1818. BHFCU is a member-owned, not-for-profit.
Hi, Mom. What are you wearing?
Oh, this is my around the house in summer outfit. You like it?
Mom, it's a garbage bag that you put your legs and arms through.
Yeah, and then I fill it with ice.
Okay, why?
Well, this house gets so darn hot in the summer, and walking around in my Starkers just wasn't working for me anymore.
So you made an ice chest dress?
Well, at least I'm comfortable now.
Mom, why don't you just call Renewal by Andersen?
Oh, is that a new tailor?
No, Renewal by Andersen makes custom fit windows tailored for any house.
I don't know. I'm growing kind of fond of the old ice chest dress.
No, really, they do a free home consultation. Then replace your old drafty windows with brand new ones.
I do wish these garbage bags were stronger. I reach for the TV remote and ice goes all over the living room floor.
Okay, Mom, call Renewal by Andersen.
Oh, I will. Now, would you like a cold drink? I got plenty of ice.
I don't think so.
Visit RBARapidCity.com today for a free consultation. Lower your heating and cooling bills with windows from Renewal by Andersen of Rapid City. RBARapidCity.com.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
In the NFL, multiple outlets report two-time Pro Bowl safety Justin Simmons is signing a one-year deal with the Atlanta Falcons, who, of course, yesterday acquired four-time Pro Bowl pass rusher Matthew Judon from the New England Patriots. Buffalo Bills Pro Bowl linebacker Matt Milano will be out indefinitely after tearing his biceps in practice. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin says Russell Wilson will start Saturday's preseason game against the Bills and is expected to play about 4 series. In college sports, Notre Dame suspended its men's swimming program for at least 1 year after multiple investigations revealed the swimmers created an internal gambling sports book in which they wagered on the outcome of their races and even created over-under lines for their swim times. Baseball right now, the Giants a 6-0 lead over the Braves in the bottom of the 8th inning. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, live interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest local stories. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, we're back in on a Thursday, high-energy Thursday. You know why? It's a high-energy Thursday. Well, it always is, right? It always is. August 15th, a big day in the Black Hills. It is Nate Brown's birthday. Oh, yes, thank you. I appreciate it from the crowd. I'll take a bow. It is my birthday. I'm here. I'm ready. That's what you do when you get old. You just get older and you just have to work and you just try and put it all together. Just get through the day and maybe you'll get a nice fruit cup at the end of the day and you can go sit in the park and dream about what has been. Somebody give me a fruit cup and I'll make it today. A special birthday edition of the Nate Brown Show. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for being here on a Thursday. I do appreciate that. So you're spending some time with me on my birthday. At least you are. I do. I do appreciate that. We are live from our downtown studio, and it is always a great day in the Black Hills. We know that. South Dakota Sports Talk Show back and ready. Thursday edition looks good. Some great guests tonight. We're going to get JT the Brick on tonight. First time in a long time. JT the Brick, one of the great radio hosts in the country. He is live in Las Vegas. He covers the Raiders now, so we're going to talk Las Vegas Raiders and more. He's got a national show on Chris Mad Dog Sports Radio as well. So JT the Brick's coming up. Should be a fun Thursday edition of the Nate Brown Show, the birthday edition of the Nate Brown Show. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live, 106.7 FM, 1150 AM on the radio side. Bring us up on Twitter right now. We're streaming live there on X, Twitter, at Nate Brown Show, and YouTube channel. Subscribe if you haven't. You can catch all the shows there. The Nate Brown Show on YouTube. Watch us easy on your phone. And stream us now, foxsportsrapidcity.com. So we're set. A lot of ways you can access the program. Brought to you in part by Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. Better access, more options. That's the number one preferred provider. And voted number one now, Black Hills Surgical Hospital Sports Medicine, when it comes to surgery. Black Hills Surgical Hospital Sports Medicine, number one for orthopedic surgery. Don't chance it. Work with the experts. Don't let an injury slow you down. Start online, bhosc.com. The experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center helping you stay in the game at bhosc.com. All right, let's look at the lineup. I told you, JT the Brick. I'm excited about that. JT's coming on tonight. A longtime radio host. We're going to get him tonight. So JT the Brick on the Nate Brown Show. That should be fun. We will go to Major League Baseball writer Scott Pianowski. We're starting this show with Major League Baseball today. You know why? If you haven't seen this, you got to know why. We'll get into that. Scott Pianowski's coming up, Major League Baseball writer, yahoosports.com. Eric Williams is on from California, NFL national writer for Fox Sports. Eric Williams on tap. And then we will go to Sioux Falls tonight. Jason Andera coming in. It's that time of year. Let's look at the football season. All of the teams. Jason Andera does a good job here. He sends out a straw poll to all the coaches. Now, he doesn't get answers from every high school football coach in the state, but he sends it out to all the coaches. He says, who's going to be good? And I think that's a pretty fair way to, coaches know who's coming back and who is good. And I think the coaches poll is important. So Jason Andera we're going to go through his coaches' high school football poll and tell you who's good at AAA, AA, Class A down to B, and might slip in some 9-man for our friend Matt Kearney. We can't forget about that, right? Jason Andera coming up, South Dakota High School sports analyst from Sioux Falls, and then out to Williamsport tonight. So we got him. If you watched it at all last night, Sioux Falls Little League played Florida, went down to the wire. They gave up a couple of late runs, and Sioux Falls Little League loses 2-1 to the Southeast champs out of Florida. That was a good game. That was a good effort. So now they're on the losers bracket, going to have to try and battle their way. The head coach for Sioux Falls Little League's Nick Corton, and he said he'll hop on tonight to give us a breakdown of last night's game on ESPN. They play Saturday now against a team out of New York. Nick Corton, Sioux Falls Little League head coach from Williamsport, coming up on the Nate Brown Show tonight. It's been a fun week. Good week here. Hey, what are we going to do on my birthday show? We're going to do 5 questions from Chris tonight. So we got 5 questions from Chris. Any birthday questions, Chris? You got any questions for me on my birthday? I'm getting old. By the way, what do you get? What's a great sports gift for, an old guy like me? I'm a sports guy. We all know this. So what should I get for a birthday gift? Like, what's on my docket? I get to this age, I don't have a list of things like, I need this, I need this. I got a car detailing kit the other day. I mean, that's how exciting my life is. By the way, I appreciated it. You can never get enough Armor All, right? So I got a car detailing kit. What do you get a guy like me for a birthday gift? What do you get? You know what I got last night? I got to announce this on the sports side. You know what I got? Little early birthday gift from my daughters. They know I'm a true fan. I'm a passionate fan, and I'm going to wear this weekend. They got me a brand new Indiana Fever t-shirt. A brand new WNBA Indiana Fever t-shirt. So take that and book it. I'm a true fan, and I appreciate that from my daughters. Okay, let's get it up here on the question of the day. We will get that out to you very shortly. Let's get the number out. 720-1067 is our number. 720-1067. And the Barons-Wilson text line as well. 720-1067. You can text the show, 720-1067. All right. Remember, bring up our brand new stream, by the way. We had a couple of streams going, and I want to let the audience know because we've gotten some messages on this. We got a brand new online player at foxsportsrapidcity.com. Okay? So brand new online player. That is live now. There was a couple of different streams out there in the interspace of Fox Sports Rapid City. We went with a brand new online player. So if you want to listen to this program anywhere on your phone, foxsportsrapidcity.com. Brand new online player. You've got us there. All right? Little programming note. Okay, let's start with this baseball story. I'm going to start with this baseball story. I think I don't know. I can't even believe they're discussing it. I don't know if this is just lip service. I don't know if they're like, well, if we put stuff out here in Major League Baseball, we act like we're trying to maybe change some things to make a certain group of people happy. Maybe people will think this is cool, and then we don't ever have to implement it. We can just say we're thinking about it. We're discussing it. But the thing about Major League Baseball is they've actually made some changes over the past couple of years. They've made some pretty big changes. Banning the shift, okay? Bigger bases. The pitch clock has been absolutely the biggest change, right? Keeping the game moving. So Major League Baseball, I guess maybe it's not lip service anymore. I feel like a story like this today is, because I think this story's goofy. I mean, I grew up playing baseball. I know baseball. I'm not a baseball fanatic. I'm a Cubs guy, so my Cubs, I'm following them. When the Cubs are as bad as they are, then I start, kind of checking out here midsummer. So I'm not a baseball expert, but I'm a baseball fan, and I don't know if stuff like this is legitimate, if it's even worth looking at. Is the game really needing to be changed and tweaked even more? I'm not an old school guy that's out there saying, don't do anything. There's some baseball guys out there today that say, I don't like the pitch clock. I don't like the banning of the shift. Just let them play baseball however they want to play baseball. I think some of these things have been fine. I do think I was a fan of the pitch clock. I'm a fan of it. So I think changes are fine. But this change is goofy. And if you didn't see it today, there's a report that Major League Baseball is just in the infancy stages of discussing how they can get starting pitchers to pitch longer. Okay, this is actually a thing. So the narrative around baseball, if you don't follow it closely, the narrative around it is there's no more starting pitchers that are stars because they don't pitch past 5 innings. Some of them don't go past 4 innings. They're in, they're out. We don't have star pitchers that are starting pitchers. It's just about throwing gas. It's about getting through 4 innings. We hope you don't get up to 100 pitches. We're going to get you out of there, and then we're going to rotate in a bunch of relievers. And so the starting pitching thing, gone are the days of Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz. It's gone. And baseball's sitting here saying, should we change that so we can have better offense, make the starting pitcher stay in the games longer, so now maybe we can have stars, the Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz era, some of these great starting pitchers, Randy Johnson, the list goes on. Can we bring back the star starting pitcher? And there is a little bit of a point to that. I've told you I don't follow baseball religiously every single day. I'm following the Cubs, and then I go from there. I don't follow it religiously. Who are the best starting pitchers? Who's this guy? Who's that guy? The only star that gets talked about, starting pitcher, mainstream, is Paul Skeens. Skeens has had a couple of no-hitters. They pulled him out. Pittsburgh Pirates. He's a rookie. That's a big name. Could you make baseball change to where you get to, you accomplish a couple of things? We get better starting pitchers. We get longer starting pitcher performances. And then that leads to probably better offense because the more you see a pitcher the third time around, now you're going to start hitting a little bit. That's honestly the discussion Major League Baseball has looked at. Should we require, here's the discussion, should we require starting pitchers to pitch a minimum of 6 innings? I started the show by saying there's good changes to baseball. Pitching clock, I'm with. Banning the shift, I'm fine. Okay, the bigger bases, it's okay, I guess. I think about you're actually now telling teams what to do. Well, what do you mean? We're telling them they can't shift. They can't play in the shift. No, you're telling teams that they have to keep a player in when the player may not be able to go 6 innings. He might not. Maybe he doesn't give up 5 runs. Maybe he gives up 3. So this is honestly a discussion which I think this has to be just goofy. They're not going to really test this out. They haven't yet in the minors. That's usually where they start things. We're going to test it out in the minors, see if it works, see if people like this. When I first look at this, I saw this come out today. I thought it was The Onion. I mean, I thought, I'm going, no, seriously, I did actually for a minute. I'm going through all of my sports sites, and I'm going, well, this can't be. We're Major League Baseball thinking about having starting pitchers stay in for 6 innings. What? You can't tell teams what to do. I mean, I understand the game's changing. The guys aren't going to pitch 9 innings anymore. There's no more Jack Morrises. Okay, I mean, it's gone. I get it. You can't tell teams to keep them in for 6 innings. That's going to totally change the whole dynamic. This is goofy. They're discussing it. That's bizarre. Thanks for calling. You're live today, and you go ahead.
Hey, happy birthday, Nate.
I appreciate it, man. How are you?
Doing good. The best birthday gift I ever gave my dad was the year before he died.
Okay. What do you got?
We pull up in front of Bob Gibson's house down in Fontenelle Hills, and we drank a cold beer.
That's very nice. Very nice.
And talked about St. Louis Cardinals.
That's the best. That's a great story. That's a great story.
And before the cops came, I prearranged with old Coach Brooks, who could get a hold of them quicker.
Okay.
Because Bob had passed away a year before my dad.
Okay. Very interesting.
But, yeah, we're out in front of the family home in Bellevue drinking a cold beer.
That's something. That's something.
It was. I think baseball should never increase the size of the base. And honestly, Nate, I watch a lot of baseball. They ain't training these guys to throw 6 innings.
Okay, yeah, you could have a point there. I mean, they're just training them to throw really, really hard. Really hard.
I mean, you wouldn't pull a Nolan Ryan. You wouldn't pull a Bob Gibson or a Jack Morris. But these kids, I watch that baseball, Nate. 2-3 innings, and, half of them are done.
I know it. That's right. So, well, I just think this idea, we're going to make them sit around, we're going to make them stay in for 6. That's the story. I don't
leave
buy this.
Baseball alone, and leave that electronic stuff at home too.
The analytics,
especially
I know.
in football. I watched that, Nate. What was that? Like 3 minutes? It was a preseason game last week.
Yes.
It was like 3 minutes to make the call.
Yes. I know what you're saying. See, I was worried about that. All right.
I miss the old, Nate, I don't care if I was safe and you called me out at home because maybe you got blocked, maybe you didn't see.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to look at you like,
So here's what you're going to have.
To the dugout.
You're going to have the automatic strike zone, and then you're going to have the pitchers required to stay in 6 innings. I mean, it seems too much to me.
All them great pitchers that you mentioned and the ones I mentioned, they got a break here and there from that umpire.
Yes. Yes.
Who cares? That hitter got a break.
Yes.
Who cares?
That's part of the game.
Alone.
No, I'm with you. I'm actually with you on that. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks
Have a great birthday.
All right. Thanks for getting in. I appreciate that. No, I mean that's right to me. Maybe it's my birthday, so I can be the old man yelling at the clouds today. But my point is this. If a team doesn't have a pitcher that's going to go 6 innings, they don't have a pitcher that's going to go 6 innings. I mean, Steve just said that. That's not the deal anymore. We may not like it, but it's not the deal. It's like you're trying to get through 5. Like when a starting pitcher goes out tonight, if they can get through 5 innings, you're like, oh, man, that was a game. No, I mean, really, it's 5 innings. That's the magic number. Before, it's like, hey, he put in 7 innings. He went 8. Then we brought in the closer. I mean, that stuff, you can't legislate it. That's my point today on the Major League Baseball idea, I guess, in its early stages of being talked about. You can't legislate how you're going to do pitching. I really don't think that's the case. The rules on it would be this. You stay in 6 innings. That's what it say. Here's the exceptions. If you give up 4 or more runs, then they can take you out. Okay. 4. Okay. I've given up 3, but I'm going to keep him in because I have to. Major League Baseball, new rule. I have to keep him in at least 6 innings. I've given up 3 runs. I'm not looking good. I'm just getting shelled right now. But I'm going to keep. I got to keep him in. Don't even go there. I mean, I can't believe it. It's a report out today. Major League Baseball kicking it around, requiring starting pitchers. They're trying to attack the nobody knows our starting pitchers. There's no stars on the mound anymore. And we're also trying to make sure that offense is still better. I mean, they're not announcing that today in this kicking around this idea. We want offense to be better. That's also what they're trying to tell you. They want offense to be better. They don't want new pitchers in and out, in and out. You don't see a guy twice through the lineup. It's hard. They're throwing gas today. You can't get hits. So the more you see a pitcher, the better offense you're going to have. So Major League Baseball is trying to find these answers. You can't legislate that side of it. So the exceptions are if you give up 4 or more runs, you're out. Otherwise, you have to stay in 6 innings. And then if you get injured, so, injury is, then you can come out. How many people are going to, go down and do the old, oh, my gosh, my arm, my ankle. Oh, I just broke a nail. I just gave up 3 runs in the 4th. I broke a nail. Oh, my gosh, I got to get out of here. This isn't going to work. Just get it out of here. By the way, they say, well, what about all the pitching what about all the pitches? I mean, we're worried about guys' arms. Aren't we worried about their arms? Well, we're going to make them stay in 6 innings or a minimum of 100 pitches. That's the other one. So 6 innings or maximum of 100 pitches. So 6 innings requirement or maximum 100 pitches and you're out. 4 runs or more, you're out. You you have a hangnail, you say you're injured, you can come out. This isn't going to go anywhere, please. I don't think so. What would you say? I'll throw out the question of the day to you. 720-1067, Major League Baseball's latest idea kicking around, keeping starting pitchers in through 6 innings, a minimum requirement unless they meet some of those thresholds. Minimum of 6 innings for starters. Would you like the idea or is it dumb? 720-1067. 720-1067. Barron's Wilson text line or the studio line as well. You can get in. Let's go to the Twitter poll. Major League Baseball's latest idea, keeping starting pitchers in for a minimum of 6 innings. Good idea. It brings back maybe the old school baseball, I guess. But I don't think you can legislate old school. It's over. But I think it's a bad idea. I think it's ridiculous. What do you say? 89% checking in saying it's a dumb idea. 11% say it's a good idea. So, we did a little poll for Major League Baseball on the Nate Brown Show today. Yeah, we did a little poll for you. So, your sports fans are saying 89% say it's a dumb idea. How does this stuff actually make it out of the Major League Baseball offices? I mean, who comes up with this stuff? Is this happening at happy hour and they having a couple of highballs? I mean, I don't know where this stuff comes up. Let's see. Listener text. Happy birthday. Hope you have a great weekend of parties. Well, hey, thank you. Listener text. I like the timing of this discussion because this is anti-analytics. This is going after all the teams that put too much into the analytics. The idea of a starter over an of an opener over an actual starter is a travesty to baseball. So, yeah, what he's talking about is teams sometimes don't even have starters. Like here's my starters. No, they have guys that throw right away. Then they throw in more different guys all throughout the game. There's no designated starter. Like the Rays started doing this. You remember the Rays? They started doing this. They'd start with like a reliever as an opener. They wouldn't even have a starter start. They'd start with a reliever as an opener. Well, Major League Baseball's like, we gotta get this starting pitching thing a little bit under control. But I'm not buying it. I don't think you can do it. I understand why we think it's kind of, wish starters pitch longer. You can't legislate and tell teams you have to do this. I think it changes the whole dynamic of the game. Well, unless you give up 4 runs, then you can come out. I mean, that's goofy. All right. 89% of you say, no way, dumb idea. We'll see if Major League Baseball takes our advice. We're off and running on the birthday show. The Nate Brown Show with Scott Pianowski coming up. His thoughts, Major League Baseball writer at Yahoo Sports. Hang on, busy show. JT the Brick is going to join us. Covers the Raiders, longtime radio host nationally. We love JT the Brick. He's coming up this hour. Hang on.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City.
Get the best quality Dutch Boy paints for your painting project at Menards. Paint in one coat with Max Bond Plus exterior paint. It provides max adhesion, height, and performance. With over 800 one-coat colors, it's designed to work for you. And with Dutch Boy's easy opening, smooth pouring container, transforming your home has never been easier. Save big money on Dutch Boy paints and head into Menards to get your paint project started today.
Save big money at Menards.
The Honda Summer event is on at Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda. Shop the area's best selection of pre-owned Hondas and Honda certified pre-owned. Get financing as low as 1.99% APR on certified pre-owned CRVs and other select models. Over 30 certified pre-owned available. Civics, Accords, CRVs, Pilots, Ridgelines, and more. Plus, a lot full of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, imports, and domestics. See us at Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda or RushmoreHonda.com. Length of finance contract is limited with qualified credit. Expires 9/3/24.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Lows around 59 tonight under mainly clear skies, northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow, highs around 87, partly cloudy skies. Lows around 59 tomorrow night. Low 90s Saturday and Sunday with a chance for storms Sunday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 81.
Hi, this is Rob at Firehouse Wine Cellars, downtown Rapid City. It's summer in the Black Hills, and our selection of wines at Firehouse Wine Cellars has never been better. The difference with Firehouse Wines is we make our wines right here in our modern winemaking facility with real grapes from the best vineyards on the West Coast. If you love wine, you need to sign up for our Firehouse Club 1915, which will get you some exclusive benefits and tastings. Join us this summer at Firehouse Wine Cellars on Main Street and enjoy the best wine in the Black Hills. You can see our great selection right now at FirehouseWineCellars.com.
We're all going somewhere. Going higher, faster, farther. Going in new directions, to new places. At Monument Health, we keep going so you can keep going. We're dedicated to advanced orthopedic care with the latest innovations, technology, expertise, and treatment. So keep exploring. Keep making memories. Keep going with Monument Health as your partner. Learn more at monument.health/orthopedics.
Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club in Spearfish invites you for the best golfing experience that South Dakota has to offer. Elkhorn Ridge has been ranked by Golf Digest as the #1 public course in the state. Off exit 17 in Spearfish, Elkhorn Ridge offers an 18-hole championship layout with breathtaking views and an experience second to none. South Dakota's #1 public golf course is right in your backyard. Book a tee time and hit the course at Elkhorn Ridge. Visit elkhornridgeresort.com.
Looking for a great place for a pregame meal that really satisfies? Or maybe you want a place to take your all-star after the game. Or you're looking for a place to enjoy a delicious meal while watching your favorite team on the big screen TV. Valley Sports Bar and Grill has all the bases covered for all those things and more. Top-notch, friendly, and attentive service. Wall-to-wall big screen TVs with all the big games. And the absolute best wings in Rapid City. Valley Sports Bar. Make it your place. 1865 Valley Drive, Rapid City.
Hi, it's Colin Coward. Great to be in the Black Hills. Getting heard weekdays 10 to 1 on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports
South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on Fox Sports Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you being a part of the program each weekday afternoon, 4 to 6. Appreciate all of our sponsors, everybody you hear, every local company on Fox Sports Rapid City making a difference in our community, helping us cover local sports. We hope you help them out. Local business is big, and every business on Fox Sports Rapid City would appreciate your business. I'll tell you, they support our community sports and all of our coverage. We hope you support all the businesses you hear on Fox Sports Rapid City. Scott Pianowski's on tonight. Major League Baseball, Yahoo Sports. Find him on X, Twitter, Scott_Pianowski. Scott, before I get into this thing with the Major League Baseball kicking around stuff, I want to ask you, okay, there's a lot of things you and I have talked about over the last couple of years. Baseball looking to change this, change that. I think there's been some good changes. I do. I'm going to ask you on this, though. Does Major League Baseball have a starting pitching issue?
It's going to be difficult to solve it, but it's a case of optimization isn't always the best product, right? I mean, some people may say, I don't want to watch a basketball game where everybody takes 43 pointers. Maybe they've gone too far with that and has toyed around with, make the lane different size, you move the line back. In baseball, teams have realized that asking their pitchers to go shorter in games and asking their batters to sell out for home runs may not make for the ideal product, even at a time we have so many exciting. Aaron Judge is terrific. Juan Soto's terrific. The entire Baltimore roster, it feels like, is ascending superstar. Shohei Ohtani is on his own planet and having a fantastic first season with the Dodgers. There's not a Paul Skeens has been a great story. And Skeens ties into what we want to talk about, right? I mean, the big Skeens thing is that he goes 5 or 6 innings in some of these games, doesn't allow any hits, and comes out.
Yes.
And a lot of people grew up with the idea. We recently saw a no-hitter from Blake Snell. That was the first time he'd ever pitched in the 9th inning in a baseball game.
Yeah, that's wild. So the thing around this is Major League Baseball kicking around this idea, and I'm going to get into some of the details. I think it's really drastic. I think this, if they even kick this around, I'm going, yeah, I don't think you can legislate this. But the idea is, can we get some starting pitchers that are stars? The only one we really kind of mainstream right now is Paul Skeens. We don't have Smoltz, Glavine, Maddox, Randy Johnson. We don't. Can we?
We don't. And I was joking early in the season that if you wanted to see a Cy Young pitcher pitch anywhere in baseball in this given week, the only 2 options you had were Corbin Burns of the Orioles, and then Snell was making his return that week because Verlander's hurt, DeGrom's hurt, Scherzer has been hurt, and he's back on the IL. So a lot of these guys, and that was a big story we talked about back in April. Why are these pitchers breaking constantly? And what you have to do is you have to find a way to be successful, not going all out every pitch. They've gotten comfortable with telling a pitcher, hey, 2 times around the order, hey, 75 pitches, 60 pitches, 65 pitches. It used to be when a pitcher came out in the 5th inning with a big 7-1, 7-2 lead and got removed before the 5th inning was over and couldn't get the win, there was an outcry wow, how could he do that to his pitcher? He's showing him up. He's taking away the win. Nobody thinks that way now, to the point that I think the win rule should probably be changed. It doesn't make any sense to me, Nate, that somebody could pitch 4 innings, and then there can be a parade of relievers who come into the game. The 4-inning guy is the most impactful because he faced the most batters, but because of kind of an antiquated rule, he can't get the win. But, there's something to be said for, we all grew up with newspapers and who's tomorrow's starting pitcher, and that guy's going to go 5, 6, 7, 8 innings, and I feel like that's close to dead. It's good to kick around ideas. I've yet to hear an idea that I love, though.
Okay, I'm going to ask you how surprised you are by this idea that they're not trying it in the minors or anything yet, but they're kicking around minimum of 6 innings. Now, caveats. You give up 4 or more earned runs, you can come out. You get injured. Oh, I have a hangnail in the 3rd inning. I'm going to come out. Throwing 100 pitches, that's your max. Those are the caveats, but minimum of 6 innings. What do you say? Surprised by the idea?
I think it's an idea that won't get any traction, but let's kick around ideas. I've heard an idea that you could only have the DH as long as the starting pitcher's in the game, and once he's removed, then that just becomes a fluid spot. What I'd like to see is a cap on how many pitchers you can have in your roster, right? The problem to me, as much as the starting pitcher is not going deep, is that these relievers are only pitching one inning. I actually think, and not everybody in the baseball community agrees with this, when they made those minimums when a reliever comes in, it can't just be for one batter unless he ends the inning.
Yep.
I thought it was a great move, because whoever went to a baseball game and said, hey, Nate, I hope we see that left-handed specialist throw 5 pitches tonight. Wouldn't that be exciting? And I get that sometimes there's some tension if he's facing one of the best left-handed batters in the game. If it's Soto, if it's Ohtani, I get that might be a moment. But I'd like to see the relievers going back to, I still remember the days where relievers would throw well over 100 innings. It was no big deal. Mike Marshall qualified for the ERA title a couple of times, threw over 200 innings. That was a different day, I get it. But I don't think the parade of relievers is good for the game. I'd like to see shorter pitching staffs.
What about how teams are doing this? Like, well, we don't even really have a starter. We're going to go with a reliever as an opener. Do you think that's legislative? Yeah, like, could you legislate that? Like, no, you got to, here's your starters. You're kind of talking about rosters like that. Here's your starters. You can't have a reliever be an opener.
Again, it's a case of, I know why they do it, and it's smart because you're picking a pitcher you really like who's facing the meat of the order. You're getting the order the way they want to arrange it. Here's our best OBP guy. Here's another good OBP guy. Here's a couple of thumpers behind him. You're saying, you know what, I'm going to take out, instead of sending out maybe one of the lesser effective pitchers we'll have all night, let's send the best guy we got and mow them down and then try to get a lead and have a little bit of leverage. So it works. It's optimal. You know, a lot of these things, you know, you see what Tampa Bay does. They platoon. They trade, you know, when the guy makes too much money, they trade him away. They do a lot of things that work optimally. Optically, it doesn't really make sense. They play in a park that nobody likes. I don't know how long Tampa Bay will have a baseball team, but they've done a lot of good things with a small amount of money. So they've, you know, again, optimization and optics don't always match up. I wouldn't mind if you had at least a 3-inning, 4-inning minimum. I don't think the opener is good for baseball. Let's say that.
Okay, so you might get on board 4-inning minimum. You'd still have to have some wiggle room there, like, if you get, you know, absolutely shellacked, you know, but so you'd go for it.
Even a trip through the order. Face everybody once.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
I think that would be reasonable.
Scott Pianowski tonight, Major League Baseball, yahoosports.com. The other side of this, and Major League Baseball is not going to say it, but the other side is the more I get to see a pitcher from a lineup side, now the more offense we're going to have. We get to see him a third time, now we're going to start scoring runs. I think that's part of it. Is that real?
The data's always backed that up. I mean, Bill James solved this like 30 or 40 years ago, that third time through the order. And as I was growing up, I was always getting excited. Okay, here's the third time through the order. This is when the offense really kicks in. Now, you have to be good to face the order a third time, because the mediocre pitchers, they're getting those guys out of here. They know that's where the danger zone is. I don't know how you can force teams to say, well, you have to throw everybody a third trip through. I'd like to see. This is a problem, Nate, that I think is real. I don't know how you fix it. And as you said, they've made a lot of changes. You know, I think the pace thing is better. The flow of the game is better. I think getting the shift to be regulated somewhat, I feel like teams cheat on it a little bit, but whatever. You see more traditional, when you see that ground ball in the hole, you know that has more of a chance of being a hit than maybe it did the last 5 or 10 years where defense has gotten a little bit too good. But I think a lot of things are moving in the right direction. This is a problem. I haven't heard, tell me if you have, I haven't heard a great solution. I haven't heard anything that I could see that working. And I know when they come up with some ideas, they'll test it, they'll use it in the minors, and people talk about maybe they should move the mound back. That's never going to happen. But to tinker with the ball, we never know what they're doing with the Major League Baseball, which is, I think, a little bit of a transparency problem. But this is a problem to which, and I'm open to any of the listeners, please tweet at me if you have a good idea. I haven't heard something yet where I thought, I think this has some traction.
And it's interesting, and I said, is it a problem? Like, do you think fans are going, hey, we need more starting pitchers to go longer, and we need more offense too? That would be nice. Do you think that both of those are issues?
I do. Remember the World Baseball Classic, right? The great moment of the World Baseball Classic was Shohei Ohtani pitching to Mike Trout. Two guys who played with the Angels. We always talk about this. They never had a winning record when they were together. Since then, Trout's been mostly hurt. Of course, Ohtani has moved on to the Dodgers. But we need more moments signature moments, where it's like nobody ever thought, oh, yeah, remember that moment where the middle reliever in the 7th inning pitched to Shohei Ohtani? We don't know who those guys are. A lot of times they're failed starters. A lot of times they just come in, they throw as hard as they can, and then maybe a year or two they're not effective anymore. Their elbow has gone kablooey, their shoulder has gone kablooey. These guys just kind of get recycled in and out. And I don't think optically it makes for an ideal game.
$1 million question, Scott. You look at all these numbers. You're a fantasy sports guy. You're really good at this side of it. Analytics, they're big in baseball and been used earlier than the other sports. Analytics drove this, moving pitchers, taking them out, getting this pitcher in, getting that pitcher out. Analytics drove this. Is analytics overall a winner for baseball? It's a tough one.
I mean, again, it comes down to the ultimate, optimization versus optics argument. It makes teams smarter. Teams that don't have as many resources have learned. This goes back to Billy Beane and even teams before that. I mean, Earl Weaver in the 70s was talking about on-base percentage when most people didn't know what it was. He realized that you should never really bunt and just play, get guys on base, go for the 3-run homer. The Orioles also routinely had multiple Gold Glove winners, not just because it was valuable, because you didn't have to pay those guys as much money. People were getting largely paid for their offensive production then, and a guy like Bobby Grich would be underpaid, or a guy like Mark Belanger would be underpaid. Maybe Brooks Robinson was getting good money because he was doing both things, and he was a Hall of Famer. But they understood where the market inefficiencies were, and that's what this comes down to, is where are the market inefficiencies. And you talk about baseball being ahead with analytics. And one of the reasons why is because it's a pure one-on-one sport where there's so many things that go into the success or the failure of a football play, and cohesion matters in basketball. And, the hockey team, power play has to work as a unit and all that stuff. In baseball, largely, it's batter versus pitcher. There's not that much teamwork in the game. I know the shortstop and second baseman work together a little bit. The pitcher and catcher have a relationship. But mostly baseball's a game of individual one versus one, pitcher versus hitter, and that's why it's been able to be. And even with that, Bill James came up with things that people had no idea what was going on. Maybe Branch Rickey knew some of it, maybe Earl Weaver knew some of it, but people thought Bill James was like goofball for like 20 years when really he was just way ahead of the curve. And baseball was screaming for an analytics revolution because, again, as a 1v1 sport, it's the purest sport that we have.
See, and that's the thing. It's 1v1. And then we've taken out the drama because if Skeens has thrown maybe too many pitches, we don't want him to face Shohei Ohtani, so he's out.
And the other thing, Nate, is that no matter how they may coddle Skeens or any pitching prospect, have we really learned how to protect these guys? Remember Washington made the playoffs with the young Steven Strasburg, and it was like, oh, no, we've decided he's not going to pitch in the playoffs. His agent doesn't want to do it. We're going to think long-term. He still broke down. He still had not quite the career. I mean, I don't want to spit on like I had a good career, but we thought he was going to be like a legend, and he wasn't. And he fell into injuries. If they knew how to protect the pitchers, they would be doing it. I still don't know. I think they've gone too far with. Nobody wants to throw 130 pitches. I get it, but it doesn't mean 80 pitches is the answer.
Well, that's the thing. How did Roger Clemens last? And maybe there was some things there, but how did Roger Clemens last? Mark Pryor didn't. I don't know.
No, and when Pryor came up, and he's a pitching coach now, they talked about the marvels at how great his mechanics were. That's the thing. It's one thing when a guy's all over the place. When Chris Sale came up, people said, well, he's got this lanky delivery. It's difficult to repeat. There's a lot of moving parts to it. A lot of people thought he should be a reliever or he'd have problems staying healthy as a starter, which has been off and on. He's had a nice comeback season with the Braves this year. But, again, if we knew how to protect the pitcher, we'd be doing it. And, I come back to, I realize it's easy to say go find a Greg Maddux, but maybe go find a Jamie Moyer or go find a Mark Burley, guys who lived in the high 80s, low 90s, guys who were far behind the league average for velocity, but knew how to pitch, knew how to hit spots, knew how to. Maddux would say, I could throw 3 or 4 miles an hour faster. I'm not going to. I may save it 2 or 3 times a game, but my game is about upsetting their timing and making the ball move.
Scott Pianowski, good stuff tonight. Really interesting territory that Major League Baseball's kind of in. They're not going to take it too far yet, but minimum starting pitcher requirement being talked about. Scott Pianowski, yahoosports.com. As always, Scott, I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Nate.
Thanks for your time. Scott Pianowski tonight. Find him at yahoosports.com. Major League Baseball on Twitter, X at Scott_Pianowski on live tonight on South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Yeah, I just can't. That's interesting the way Scott put that. Baseball's 1v1. We love the drama. You remember Roger Clemens against Mike Piazza? I mean, we remember that. That's what we want to see. We want to see the Braves against Mark McGwire. Okay, that Braves starting lineup. That's what you want to see. Right? You want to see that stuff. So now it's, hey, if a guy's got any issues at all, well, he doesn't pitch well to left-handed batters on his birthday, so we got to take him out. Yeah, no, he's just going to get just absolutely shelled here on his. He said, when he's had spaghetti for a pregame meal, it just doesn't work. That's. I'm just telling you, baseball, every little thing we take him out. It's 1v1. We want to see the matchups, and I think gone are those days. Can you bring back a minimum requirement of starting pitchers for 6 innings minimum? You got to play 6 unless you give up 4 more runs, and a couple other caveats there. I still think it's too far of a territory. Like now the game's changed, and now we're trying to bring it back with rules. And I don't think you can. All right, JT the Brick, one of the all-time great radio hosts. I'm excited to have him next. JT the Brick, national host, Mad Dog Sports Radio, and he's a Las Vegas Raiders insider. We're going to talk Raiders, AFC West. JT the Brick live from Vegas next.
Did you miss an interview or great segment on The Nate Brown Show? Just find The Nate Brown Show podcast and listen wherever you download your podcasts.
The incredible Renewal by Andersen Dog Days of Summer Sale is here, and I will sit up and shake for this one. It's the best offer ever for new windows and doors. Please listen to this. You get 20% off, an additional 5% off if purchased on the initial consultation. No payments for 24 months, 2 whole years, no payments. Please visit RBARapidCity.com. Call today. Schedule your free in-home consultation. Don't wait. This deal ends August 31st. 2 years, no payments. That's doggone awesome.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Pops Tire Service is your low-priced headquarters for all major tire brands. We buy tires, manufacture direct, and sell to you for less. Right now, get up to $265 in rebates on Goodyear, up to $160 in rebates on Bridgestone, or up to $150 in rebates on Firestone. Pops Tire won't be undersold. Hurry, offer ends August 31st. See store for details. Visit us online at popstire.com. Pops, we know tires and service. You should know Pops.
Get ready to ride the road to 25K every Saturday in August only at Tin Lizzy. There's one $25,000 winner guaranteed, and this month we are adding even more ways for you to win. 5 players will be drawn at 10 p.m. every Saturday night for a chance at the grand prize. Earn entries by playing with your Clubhouse card on some of the newest and most exciting games in Deadwood. It's the road to 25K, and it's happening all month long at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort, located on historic Main Street in Deadwood. Take your game to the next level.
Hey, this is Rob Parker from The Odd Couple. Don't miss our show weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. And now we'll send you back to Rapid City Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show.
Your sports, your show. The Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show, weekdays 4 to 6. Thanks for being here. If you miss any parts of the show, a reminder, you can catch us on all the podcast platforms. Search The Nate Brown Show, and you've got us Spotify, Amazon, Apple. Kalen DeBoer joined us this week, head coach, Alabama. It was a great discussion with him. Catch The Nate Brown Show if you miss it at all. Weekdays 4 to 6. You go to the podcast, always available. Search The Nate Brown Show, and you've got us on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. Well, I'm a big fan of this guy. I appreciate what he's done over the years. I went down to Vegas, met him. He's had a great career. He's on Mad Dog Sports Radio. I listened to him there. Also, Raider Nation Radio out of Las Vegas. He's a Raiders insider. And we're trying to go around the NFL and get NFL previews from every market, so I thought we got to get JT the Brick for the Raiders. And he's on tonight. Find him on X, Twitter, a great follow at JT the Brick. JT, good to talk to you again. How are you?
Great, Nate. Good to talk to you. Excited. Football's right around the corner. Unfortunately, I don't have a quarterback answer, which the world is waiting. The coach is going to decide on Gardner Minshew or Aiden O'Connell. I know that's exciting for all your audience. That decision will be made after the Cowboy game, which I'll be calling the play-by-play Saturday night here in Vegas, and we'll find out who's going to be the quarterback one.
Okay, that's a big question for the Raiders. It is. And I'm going to go to the AFC West. I just want to get your perspective. So I've followed the Broncos over the year. I'm a Broncos guy, JT.
Yep.
Sean Payton hasn't said Bo Nix is the guy, but he's the guy. What do you see from afar?
Well, I've seen the Raiders have beaten the Broncos 8 in a row. The Raiders have never lost to the Broncos in Las Vegas. Let that sink in. 8-0, and that's almost impossible to do against any team. I mean, Raiders have beaten Kansas City in Kansas City. It happens, but the Sean Payton move so far has been nothing but a disaster because he came into Denver acting like he owned the place. They're going to win. They're going to back to Super Bowl, Drew Brees years and all that. That hasn't been the case because the roster hasn't been very good. So they get rid of Justin Simmons. You get rid of Jerry Jeudy. You start getting rid of players, and now Sean had to go all in on the quarterback because he wasn't going to do it with Jarrett Stidham. So they go after Bo Nix. I give him credit for that. Bo Nix is a good player. He was good at Oregon. He wasn't better than Michael Penix, who ended up going to Atlanta, but he could be the foundation quarterback to build around Sean Payton's new Drew Brees for years to come. So I give Denver credit. They couldn't get out of the first round without getting a quarterback. They didn't get one of the top 4 quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels, obviously Caleb Williams, who went number 1, and Drake May. But my question I'll throw back to you, is Bo Nix going to be better than Drake May? Is Drake May going to be better than Bo Nix? I don't know. It's going to take a couple of years to find out.
Well, here's the deal, JT. I think Bo Nix, his debut was okay. We don't know what that means for sure. It was okay. I was going to ask you, do you think Sean made the right call in unloading Russell Wilson and paying now for Russell Wilson's dead money? Would you have made that call?
It's a great question. First off, Russell Wilson could have been the Raiders quarterback, the Giants quarterback, anybody you wanted in the league for $1 million. I think it was tough to pass on Russell Wilson, a Hall of Famer, borderline Hall of Famer. If he doesn't screw up the next 2 or 3 years in Pittsburgh, he's going to the Hall of Fame. He should have 2 Super Bowls. He's got 1. You're aware of that. So Russell Wilson's a hell of a player, but his best years could be behind him, or maybe he shows up and has a good end to his career. But that was a big chunk, and I think the egos couldn't handle it. So when Peyton, he just didn't like Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's a hard guy to like if you're not into his life with his wife, Sierra. Because Russell's a good guy. I mean, look at what he's done. The Children's Hospital in Seattle. He's the only guy that I recall ever who went to a children's cancer hospital every single week throughout his career in Seattle. Most guys do that for a month or a year, and then they never do it again. He's a character guy. And Sean Payton ran him out of town. I mean, embarrassed him, said, no, we're going to bench you, and ran him out of town. So what else is Sean Payton going to do now? He's got to get the quarterback. And the quarterback market's hard, Nate, because we're in Vegas. We wanted a quarterback. We wanted Jaden Daniels, but it was too expensive to go get him. So the Raiders are in this quandary now, Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew. And Gardner Minshew's only 28, and he's won a number of games in this league. But I think Sean knows that he had to go all in on a quarterback, and the only one available because he had no equity. They traded away drafts with Russell Wilson. They ate all that Russell Wilson money, so the only guy that was left was Bo Nix. He had no choice, and of course, the media that fawns all over him and fawns all over Jim Harbaugh and say they can't do anything wrong are going to back his decision. So we'll see what happens with Bo Nix. I think he has a high ceiling. He could be a good player in this league.
JT the Bricks on tonight from Vegas. Raider Nation Radio hosts a daily show, and you'll hear him on Mad Dog Sports Radio as well. You mentioned Jim Harbaugh, so you tell me your minute answer on what's your perspective of the Chargers.
Well, the Chargers are another team that's never any good. They stink most of the time. I mean, you name me an underachieving team more than the LA Chargers, who don't have a big fan base. They don't have a lot going for them, but they got a really great elite. I think Justin Herbert's elite when he's healthy, and he's in a boot right now. And the Raiders open up against the Chargers, and he won't practice the entire preseason. Won't take a rep, won't play in the preseason, and that's a big game. For us out here in Vegas, that's the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl for the Raiders is beat the Chargers before they have to go into Baltimore for Baltimore's home opener. Look, Jim Harbaugh can do no wrong with some people. Some people love him, and other people knows that what he did in Michigan was kind of weird, and he got out of there with the national championship. Harbaugh's a good coach. They're going to win eventually, but they don't have Keenan Allen. They don't have Mike Williams. They don't have Austin Eckler, and Justin Herbert isn't healthy. So I don't know how long it's going to take, but eventually the Chargers will start winning because Jim Harbaugh's a winner.
Let's go to your Raiders. I respect Max Crosby a ton. I watched Crosby. He's just an animal. The motor is rolling. Where does he rank defensively in this league?
Great question. He came in overall number 10 in the NFL's countdown of 100 best players. The reason why I give Max an edge over T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett is because he doesn't come off the field, Nate. He does not come off the field. There's no break. There's no, okay, it's a run play, let's get Max a break. He plays, he never stops, and that's good. And he's not on a team that has been good as Cleveland with Myles Garrett or Pittsburgh with T.J. Watt. And Max is unbelievable. He's a better guy off the field than he is on the field. He has a chance to be one of the all-time greats in Raider history, and that says a lot with Howie Long and the great defensive players they've had over the decades. But Max wants to win, and he deserves to win. He's the heart and soul. He's the face of the Raiders along with Davante Adams on the offensive side of the ball. And Max wants to win. And the Raiders, I'll leave you on this with the Raiders if you're asking. I think they're better than they were last year, and they won 8 games last year. Matter of fact, I know they're better. They have a better roster, but the problem is they have a more difficult schedule, so the season win total is 6.5 or 7 games. I think that's a slap in the face for the Silver and Black. I think they're a 9-10 win team, but they got to figure out this quarterback. This whole year is about figuring out if they have a quarterback for next year, because if they don't, I don't know if it's Dak Prescott or Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady coming out of retirement. I'm joking. But the Raiders have got to figure out their quarterback situation this season because that's really the only piece they're missing.
When you have Davante Adams at that high level of player, what do you think he's thinking offensively?
Well, I mean, Davante came here to play with Derek Carr, right? He came here. Derek Carr was his college roommate, one of his best friends. They moved on from Derek Carr. Derek didn't win a playoff game in 9 years, and Derek was a really good player. He still is. Davante wants to win. I think he's got some chemistry with Aiden O'Connell from last year, but he's not playing with a quarterback at the level of Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr. So I'm sure if they don't win this year, he'll be frustrated, but Raiders got Brock Bowers. I want you to keep an eye on this guy. He's the greatest college tight end of all time. That says a lot because there's been some great ones. He's the only one to win 2 Mackey Awards for the best tight end, plus 2 national championships. Wait till you see next time you have me on Brock Bowers, because this guy can change the game for the Raiders. You can throw it to him behind the line of scrimmage, at the line of scrimmage, 5 yards, 30 yards. This guy's a bull, and he could change things around here pretty quickly.
Okay, last one for JT the Brick, Raider Nation Radio. He's on daily in Las Vegas, a Raider insider. Chiefs, 3-peat, percentage chance from you.
Wow, that's a tough one. I'd say 65, 70% because no team's ever done it. Everybody's gunning for them. I don't think the team is noticeably better. They got some knuckleheads on that team, but they're very good. And bringing back Chris Jones was massive for them overall. They got a great young safety in Jaden Hicks, who I know personally. They got good players on that team, but every week for them, every team is gunning for them, and I think that'll be enough to slow them down. I mean, I'm not saying they're not going to win the AFC West, But what a job they did last year going through Baltimore, Buffalo. The way they carved through the playoffs on the road last year was spectacular. I'm hoping they don't do it. I want the Chiefs to lose every game they play. I'm full-blown Raider Nation. I'm here on your show representing the Raiders. I don't want Taylor Swift. I don't want the Swifties and Kelsey. I'm sick of it. We want them off. If you're not a Chiefs fan, you better get behind me, your buddy JT the Brick. The only people who should be rooting for the Chiefs are Chief fans. Everybody else, we got to take them down at all costs.
That's one thing we can agree on. I'm in on that. I am in on that. JT the Brick, Raider Nation Radio, Mad Dog Sports Radio. By the way, I had Chris Mad Dog Russo in studio a few weeks ago, JT.
Wow.
In studio.
Wow.
So that was fun. You know how.
Go ask. I would have had you negotiate my extension with him. He's the guy. Wow.
All right. Good stuff. You always knock it out of the park, and I appreciate your time.
Take care, buddy. Good talking to you.
Thanks a lot. JT the Brick on Raider Nation Radio, live from Vegas, Raiders Insider, and he's covering them on the preseason, doing some play-by-play. Great broadcaster. I miss JT. I miss JT the Brick. Can I say that? I think so. What a great host. Some energy on my birthday. I love that. He's saying you got to root against the Chiefs, and I think we can all say that, right? I get in a little bit of trouble sometimes when I say that here on the program, that I root against the Chiefs. I mean, what do you think of JT? He kind of laid it out for you, too. All right. I got to tell you, though, he says 65% chance that the Chiefs three-peat? That's a pretty high percentage chance, JT. That's a pretty high percentage chance. We might have to ask that question of the day sometime. That's not even close. It's not even 50%. It's not even 50, guys. The Chiefs are going to three-peat as Super Bowl champions? I thought he was going to say like 20%. Yeah, I mean, it's not even 50-50. I'm not even going there. All right, great stuff. JT the Brick on a Raiders preview. Their big question is quarterback, and it's not outstanding. Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew, I don't know. Their roster after that's pretty good. Max Crosby's motor is real. I mean, that guy's tough. Davante Adams, if he can get the ball. So Raiders have owned my Broncos. He made sure I knew that, right? 8-0 against the Broncos. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing, and Sean Payton better get with it. Coming right back with Eric Williams, NFL national writer for FoxSports.com, on the way.
You're listening to the Nate Brown.
The incredible Renewal by Anderson Dog Days of Summer Sale is here, and I will sit up and shake for this one. It's the best offer ever for new windows and doors. Please listen to this. You get 20% off, an additional 5% off if purchased on the initial consultation. No payments for 24 months, 2 whole years, no payments. Please visit RBARapidCity.com. Call today. Schedule your free in-home consultation. Don't wait. This deal ends August 31st. 2 years, no payments. That's doggone awesome.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Building projects can be complex. The risks are great and time is money. Consolidated Construction of Rapid City simplifies the process by being your advocate, guiding you through funding, design, and construction. They manage the players and the schedule and marry the design to your budget so you get the most for your investment. They promise an energizing experience before, during, and after construction. It's not enough that you get a quality building. They pledge you'll experience quality every step of the way. Consolidated Construction. OneCallToBuild.com.
Do you have a financial game plan for your life? Hi, this is Lee Cruz, your local trusted New York Life agent here in Rapid City. My passion is helping you put the pieces in place for your family to make sure your game plan is a success. For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping people like yourself take action in securing their future. Don't wait, take action and Google Lee Cruz New York Life or call 605-360-8804. We will work together on putting your family first.
Today on Hey Culligan, buy to save. Here's a text from Devin in Denver. Hey Culligan, I'd love a water softener, but I don't want to pay for it. Devin, I can't help you there, but a Culligan high-efficiency softener can help you save oodles on energy and detergent, so the savings can be even greater than the cost. And I'm getting a mind-blown emoji followed by, yes please. Devin, the savings are already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Lows around 59 tonight under mainly clear skies, northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow, highs around 87, partly cloudy skies. Lows around 59 tomorrow night. Low 90s Saturday and Sunday with a chance for storms Sunday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 81.
Great news. I just got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on our home and auto insurance.
You told our agent about my thing for romance novels?
No, you don't have to get that personal. Our agent just helped me choose affordable options to create a personalized price just for us.
Oh, sweet. Then you won't believe the love triangle Jen is in now.
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Live from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Details Studio, sales, service, and recreation, this is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Good stuff today on the Thursday edition of the Nate Brown Show. Birthday edition of the Nate Brown Show. I mean, I got to tell you that. I mean, it's the only thing I have. It's the only thing I got when you get old. You got to say it's your birthday. I mean, you're getting old, so you're already getting depressed. So you got to say it's your birthday. What have I gotten for my birthday? Well, the big gifts are still coming. That's what my family tells me. I've heard that one before. No, anyway. The big gifts are still coming. I got some cheese. I got some cheese sent in the mail. That's good stuff, though. It's high-quality cheese, okay? High quality. I got an Indiana Fever T-shirt, which I love for my daughters. I'm a true fan. I am an absolute number one fan of the Indiana Fever. And so we're okay today, and I'm doing the Nate Brown Show with Eric Williams on today. NFL writer, FoxSports.com. Eric, good to get you on. How are you?
I'm doing well, Nate, and happy birthday.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I'm not sure if you were on my birthday show last year. I know I was doing a show because, I mean, you know, you just have to as you get older in life. You just have to do work. You can't do anything else on your birthday. So you're on the birthday show. I've got to ask you, there's a couple of things here. I just got done doing a Las Vegas Raiders preview with JT the Brick from Vegas, a Raiders insider. Oh, yeah. So I went, I did Raiders there. He said their biggest question is obviously QB, Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell. Do you think they can compete with either of those guys?
Yeah, I think so because of their defense. I think they're going to really be able to get after the quarterback defensively with Crosby and then bringing over Christian Wilkins and the rest of guys that have on the defensive line. So if they can hold teams to 20, 22 points, I think they can score enough offensively. I was able to watch them at training camp because they're here in Los Angeles at Costa Mesa. Got a chance to talk to their GM, Tom Telesco, about the quarterback competition. And while it's a two-man race, and I think they like both guys, and obviously Antonio Pierce is going to make the decision, I don't think you can overlook the fact that they signed Gardner Minshew to decent money, 2 years, $25 million. It's hard to, if you're GM, watch that kind of money hold a clipboard on the sideline. So I would expect Minshew to make his way out into the field at some point, and I think he's a little better movement guy than O'Connell brings that to the table, and that should help them on offense.
Okay, I want to go to the Vikings. McCarthy goes down. This is a season-ending injury. It's a killer for Vikings fans because they're like, well, he might be the answer here. Maybe not right away, but I think McCarthy was going to get to play sometime. So now he's out.
Mm-hmm.
You got Sam Darnold. He's got the best weapons that maybe he's had. Maybe this is a new life for Sam Darnold. Do you think the Vikings should get someone else in the quarterback room if they want to maybe compete a little bit there? Like, I don't know, Trey Lance, if he doesn't make it in Dallas, a Taylor Heineke in Atlanta. Would you do that?
I think the more talent you can add to the quarterback room, the better off you're going to be as a franchise. I mean, look at what the Atlanta Falcons did, signing Kirk Cousins to the kind of money that they did and then drafting, Penix in the first round. So I think it always makes sense to add talent if you can do that, and still kind of stay within the salary cap. That said, I think with Darnold, he got an up-close look at someone who had a lot of weapons, go out there and make a lot of plays, and Brock Purdy. He's going to be in a similar situation with the Vikings with all the weapons, like you said, in a similar offense. And so, he doesn't have to go out there and put the team on his back. He just has to play point guard and distribute and make good decisions. And, Sam, in years past, it's been turnovers. That's really been the main issue for him. So if he can limit turnovers, if he can put the ball where it needs to be on offense, and he has a little bit of juice. He's a guy that can move a little bit. I think it's a great situation for him to go out there and perform, and he should make that team competitive if he just plays his potential.
Eric Williams on tonight, NFL writer, FoxSports.com. You can find his work there. He's here on the Nate Brown Show, Fox Sports Rapid City. So Atlanta's making a big splash. If people haven't seen this, last 2 days, they go get Matthew Judon, Patriots edge rusher, linebacker. And then today they bring in Justin Simmons from my Broncos. He left the Broncos a long time ago, didn't land anywhere. He's going to Atlanta as well, $7.5 million guaranteed. What do you think of Atlanta? A couple of defensive guys they're bringing in. Broncos let Simmons go.
A lot of big names on offense and defense, and that's not a surprise. Raheem Morris was with Sean McVay and the Rams and got an up-close look at how they do business in terms of how they built that Super Bowl winning team. It wasn't necessarily through the draft. It was bringing in guys that could play right away and help them win. And I think when you look at that division in NFC South, I mean, it's gettable if you're the Falcons. If you can get good, play from your quarterback. They have a number of playmakers on offense and defense, and so I think, with these moves that they've now made to get Judon and to bring in Simmons, I think they're not only trying to win the NFC South, they're seeing if they can make a deep playoff run in the NFC.
What do you think's going to happen? You cover the 49ers out there in the NFC West. What's going to happen with Brandon Ayuk here?
Your guess is as good as mine. This is all over the place. I think when we talked initially, while he was upset that the contract wasn't where it needs to be, I think he felt all along that, he wanted to be in San Francisco. And I think that's why we're seeing it play out the way that it's playing out right now. It sounds like he got, the contract that he wanted from Cleveland and from New England, and he turned it down because he didn't want to play in those places. And now it's up to, whether or not he's going to take this deal with the Steelers or if he's going to get something close to that, with San Francisco. It seems like he wants to be in San Francisco, and that's why nothing has happened at this point, because he wants that contract with the Niners to come up close enough, to where the Steelers are at, so he can kind of save face and stay there. So I would suspect that's where he ends up, but, I mean, who knows? There's been a lot of twists and turns in the Brandon Ayuk saga.
You think ultimately he's going to stick around at the 49ers as long as it's gone?
I think so. I think it makes the most sense if the contracts are relatively close in terms of, what you're going to earn annually, and I think more importantly, what the guaranteed money is. I think he understands that he can have more production in that offense. He's the number one guy in that offense. You start going to another team, that's not the team that drafted you. I think they probably feel a little bit differently about you as a player and an individual. It's always a risk when you go to another team. And, you have to consider endorsement deals, too, in terms of, whether you're playing in Pittsburgh or playing in the Bay Area. And he's a West Coast guy, and I think that's part of it, too.
Eric Williams on tonight. Couple more. I'll let him roll. NFL writer, FoxSports.com here on the Nate Brown Show. You cover Russell Wilson. We know that. A long time in Seattle. Russ is going to get the start this weekend for the Steelers. So he's going to get the start. People are kind of buzzing in Pittsburgh like, well, Justin Fields he looks good. I think Russell's going to be the guy, but do you think this is going to be a question mark out there?
I think Russ is going to be the guy. He's going to get an 8-week window to see if he's the person that could help them, reach the postseason and maybe make a run. If he struggles in those first 8 weeks, I expect to see Justin Fields out there just because he's a younger alternative and a person that could potentially be there, for multiple years, where I think you look at Russ and it's more of like a 1 to 2 year rental. So I expect Russ to go out there. I think he's actually going to play well. I think he's going to play good. I think Russ plays well when he feels like there's support from the head coach. I think that was one of the main reasons why he was successful in Seattle, because Russ and Pete kind of thought on a similar wavelength, and I think he's going to get that with Tomlin in Pittsburgh. So I expect him to go out there and not necessarily be the Russ that he was in Seattle, but I think kind of closer to, the way he played there than, how things turned out in Denver.
Eric Williams tonight, training camp rolling, preseason week 2 coming up, foxsports.com for the coverage. Eric, always great. Thanks for hopping on.
Thanks for having me, and don't get too crazy on your birthday.
Okay. I appreciate that. You don't have to worry about me at this point. I mean, I just got that listener text saying, hey, enjoy your parties this weekend. What parties? Oh, anyway. All right. Eric Williams, good stuff. NFL writer, foxsports.com. Here on the Nate Brown Show. Appreciate him coming on. Little preview, hopping around the league. All right. We have 5 questions from Chris. Special birthday edition. On the Nate Brown Show today, 5 questions from our loyal listener, Chris. Next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show, on FoxSportsRapidCity.com and live on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Hi, it's Nate Brown for Weather-Tight Exteriors. We all love the warm weather that summer brings to the Black Hills, but with that warm weather, we all know that storms can pop up and do some damage to our homes. That's actually just what happened to me. And when that happens, the company you can count on is Weather-Tight Exteriors. They've won Best of the Black Hills 5 years in a row. I'm working with them right now, and I'm 100% satisfied. When it comes to your home, work with someone you can count on. Learn more at weathertight.com. They'll stand behind their work.
Put some sizzle in your next gaming adventure with Cadillac Jack's 100K Temperatures Rising giveaway. Every Friday and Saturday night, Cadillac Jack's draws for prize packages twice per hour starting at 8 p.m. for $300 and continues to rise all the way up to a $1,000 prize package at midnight. Then on August 31st, Cadillac Jack's gives away 10 prize packages, including $5,000 to the winner. It's the 100K Temperatures Rising giveaway, only at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort. How will your night play out?
Hi, it's Nate Brown for Black Hills Community Bank. If you run your own company or you're looking to start a small business here in the Black Hills, you want to make sure you choose the right banking partner, and I know the right choice for business is Black Hills Community Bank. They have plenty of banking options to suit your specific needs, and Black Hills Community Bank is here to help business owners thrive and to make sure you have the support and tools to help your business grow. Just contact one of their business loan experts today or visit bhcbank.com. Member FDIC.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Our locally owned Ace stores are committed to helping our neighbors and our communities. And because we're in the neighborhood, we can deliver almost anything you need. So shop in store or online for whatever your home or yard needs. Choose from top brands like Milwaukee, Steel, Traeger, and Benjamin Moore. Then pick up in-store, curbside, or we'll deliver your order right to your home. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know how to help. See acehardware.com for details.
At Fleet Farm, we know every opening day doesn't begin and end with us. But if it did, we've got you covered. Everyday hunting gear from Winchester, Remington, and Bear. Everyday fishing gear from Daiwa, St. Croix, and Rapala. Everyday yard cleanup from Scott's, Fiskars, and AgriFab. Whatever makes your day, we're right there with you. At Fleet Farm, we've got everything you need for everyday life.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Remember to catch me weekday mornings from 7 until 10 a.m. right here on 106.7 FM and 1150 a.m. Fox Sports Rapid City. And now, back to Rapid City's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show. Nate?
Welcome back in. Thanks for being here. Thursday, August 15th, a great day in the Black Hills. As always, my special birthday show. Thanks, everybody, for spending time with me on my birthday. Nobody else will except for Matt Kearney. That's it, and he's paid too. That's it. I mean, it's a beauty. The Nate Brown Show live, The Drive at 5. We're here, brought to you by Summit Automotive Group. SummitAutoGRP.com. Start there. Car buying built around you. Find out the Summit difference. From the right financing, the right treatment, right none of the high-pressure sales gimmick stuff. Start at SummitAutoGRP.com. When it comes to pre-owned in Rapid City, SummitAutoGRP.com. Take a look. Great vehicle selection right now. Jason Anderis coming up tonight, high school sports analyst. He always puts out a straw poll to the high school football coaches who is going to have the best teams. So his results are in. He's going to come on the show. We're going to talk about who's good for high school football. A little preview so you can take a look. Jason Andera straight ahead. Nick Corton is on from Williamsport, Pennsylvania, head coach of the Sioux Falls Little League team. He's coming up later this hour. They lost in a tight one last night over Florida. They lost 2-1 to Florida, the Southeast region. Nick Corton, head coach there. Sioux Falls Little League. We'll discuss. They play Staten Island, New York coming up on Saturday in their second game. All right, are we set? Are we ready on a special birthday edition of the Nate Brown Show? It is 5 questions from Chris. Well, this ought to be good. Here we go, Chris. 5 questions from Chris. Question 1, with the Paris Olympics completed, NBC announced the U.S. men's gold medal game had a huge crowd, had over 20 million viewers. It was 1:30 Mountain Time on a Saturday. Should the NBA consider bringing back some early Saturday afternoon games like they had in the 90s? I don't think so. Chris. I think that was just a perfect recipe. Gold medal game. Summer Olympics ratings were up all throughout. A ton of ratings on Peacock and on NBC. So you had the gold medal game. Huge brands in that game. Huge brands. Even Wembanyama on the France side. That was even helpful. But you know what you had, Chris? Why this was 20 million for the gold medal game Saturday? LeBron, Steph. I mean, that's who you had. You haven't seen that. So it was just huge basketball stars. I don't think the NBA on a Saturday afternoon would do much. It'll be good on NBC, though. I think that. I do think the NBA coming to NBC will be good. A little round ball rockets, a little John Tesh action. But they'll do it at nighttime. Mid-afternoon, too many things going on. But we did tune in for that gold medal game because it was a perfect recipe. Question number 2. Adam Silver was in France to watch a few of the Olympic Games, commissioner of the NBA. He talked to reporters about league expansion, but it wasn't about North American expansion. He was talking the NBA could consider another league, like a European league or NBA Africa. Do you think we could see a championship series between the NBA North American champ and European champ? I don't see that one. We get it really good in the Olympics, but I don't know. I mean, 10 years? Could we see changes like that? An NBA North American champ and then take on like a European champ? Basketball's been big over there. It's just exploding. We know that. I don't see NBA going like worldwide with sponsoring more leagues. I think we're going to keep it here. That's my guess, okay? Chris, you're thinking big. That's interesting. Question number 3, 5 questions from Chris. A few weeks ago, Nate, you thought Dak Prescott wouldn't be the Cowboys quarterback after this season. Yes, after this season. I think he's gone. I think he's going to be there after the season. I think he's gone. With the added contract drama with CeeDee Lamb, do you think Jerry Jones will ever see the Cowboys in another Super Bowl again? Jerry's a great businessman. The brand is off the charts. Their value is off the charts. So Jerry's done a nice job. He is the Deion Sanders of the NFL. That's Jerry Jones, the brand man. But the Cowboys will not make another Super Bowl in Jerry Jones' lifetime. I'm sorry to be a downer today. Sorry to be a downer. The Cowboys will not make it to the Super Bowl with Jerry Jones. I'm sorry. Question number 4. Nate, you had a great interview with Kalen DeBoer, new head coach, Alabama. The Millbank native had an interesting path to now leading one of the best college football programs. Do you think with the success of DeBoer at his college stops along the way, do you think that coaching or assistance, you think you might see that? Will it lead to more programs looking at the state of South Dakota because of his success? No, I don't think so. I mean, we've had some good football stories out of here. And yeah, Kalen DeBoer, man, he's gone along the way, right? But I don't think that leads to more programs looking at the state of South Dakota as a possible spot to look for coaching or assistance. I don't think it really helps that. I don't know. We've had some great stories, though. Kalen DeBoer and even the rise of South Dakota State. Like, we are respected. I will say football and coaching, I think, respected here. Stiegelmeier and the rise of the Jackrabbits and some NFL pros even out of there on the playing side. But I don't think people are like, South Dakota, there might be some coaches to find there. I think we love Kalen DeBoer because he's a South Dakota guy, but I don't think that's the first thing on people's radar. Question number 5. Ben Joyce of the Seattle Mariners threw the fastest pitch this season in Major League Baseball, 104 miles per hour. There's a growing mountain of evidence about pitching velocity and the leading cause of blowing out arms. What do you think is the fix for changing the culture of velocity? Should Major League Baseball be looking at some penalties towards the front offices if baseball pitchers are blowing out their arms? I don't know how you do that. Again, baseball's changed. It's not about location, your spot. I mean, it is, but it's not. You got to throw 100. You got to throw 99. And we're not worried about how many, how many arms are getting blown out. I hate to tell you. I mean, the Major League Baseball owners are like, well, it is what it is. We just want to get different guys in. Hey, this pitcher's for an inning, another pitcher for an inning. Throw 100 miles an hour, okay? It doesn't matter. I don't think Major League Baseball can stop or figure out the culture of velocity. It is velocity pitching. It is home run hitting, bat speed, home run hitting, elevation on hitting. The culture of baseball has changed. I don't think you can get it back. Major League Baseball is trying to figure out fixes. I don't think they can, Chris. I think that's it. You're going to throw hard. That's it. There's not enough worry about the players. The NFL always said, we worry about the players, right? Well, we're going to try and make it safe, the kickoffs and stuff. Oh, hey, are we going to play 18 games? Oh, yeah. Hey, let's change the kickoffs, though, but let's play 18. You know what I mean. 5 questions from Chris. Hey, a last one. He just submitted another one. 6 questions. 6. He just said, it's your birthday. What's your best cake? What's your best cake? He said, what about angel food or German chocolate cake? Neither, Chris. I mean, those are terrible. Terrible, Chris. I got to help you out, man. Those are terrible. Angel food cake, German chocolate cake. Get it out of here. I got 2 favorites. Are you ready? My dad used to make the best chocolate cake ever. Chocolate, white frosting. Homemade chocolate, white frosting. Now the next option, banana cake. Don't kill me. Don't hit me like you did with the sushi. Don't do it. I'm a sushi guy. I'm a banana cake man. If you haven't had banana cake, look it up. You better find my wife's recipe because she's got it. A+ banana cake. Book it. 5 questions from Chris. in the books, and Jason Andera talking who are the best high school football teams this season. Next.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show. Follow us and watch the show live on Twitter at Nate Brown Show.
The incredible Renewal by Anderson Dog Days of Summer sale is here, and I will sit up and shake for this one. It's the best offer ever for new windows and doors. Please listen to this. You get 20% off, an additional 5% off if purchased on the initial consultation. No payments for 24 months, 2 whole years, no payments. Please visit RBARapidCity.com. Call today. Schedule your free in-home consultation. Don't wait. This deal ends August 31st. 2 years, no payments. That's doggone awesome.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Are you planning a special event? Need catering that will truly impress your guests? Look no further than the Box Elder Event Center. Their expert catering team crafts personalized menus for weddings, corporate events, family gatherings, and more. From elegant hors d'oeuvres to mouth-watering main courses, their dishes are designed to delight your taste buds. They can do it all from intimate gatherings to grand celebrations. Book your catering today at thebox.live and experience exceptional service at The Box.
Pops Tire Service is your low-priced headquarters for all major tire brands. We buy tires, manufacture direct, and sell to you for less. Right now, get up to $265 in rebates on Goodyear, up to $160 in rebates on Bridgestone, or up to $150 in rebates on Firestone. Pops Tire won't be undersold. Hurry, offer ends August 31st. See store for details. Visit us online at PopsTire.com. Pops, we know tires and service. You should know Pops.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Lows around 59 tonight under mainly clear skies, northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow, highs around 87, partly cloudy skies. Lows around 59 tomorrow night. Low 90s Saturday and Sunday with a chance for storms Sunday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 80.
Stuck in a state of falling behind? Struggling to keep up with your kids, your finances, your insurance, your life? This is State Farm Agent Matt McCormick. Let me help you simplify and get to a better state. With me handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. Even more money, too. Because adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40%. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and get to a better state with State Farm. 348-0464.
Live from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Details Studio. Sales, service, and recreation. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
South Dakota Sports Talk Show, the Nate Brown Show, live on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM on the radio side. Thanks for tuning in. You can watch us live on X, Twitter. We're streaming now at Nate Brown Show on Twitter X. Follow the show. Watch us live at Nate Brown Show. We appreciate that. Bring us up on YouTube right now on your phone as well. Maybe your computer. You got us, The Nate Brown Show on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Give us some thumbs up. We'd appreciate that. The Nate Brown Show on YouTube. The Nate Brown Show, driven by Spearfish Motors. Well, I'll tell you, it's a great place. When you're looking at new Cadillacs and GMCs, that is the place. Locally owned. There's not too many new car and truck dealerships in the region locally owned. So Spearfish GMC Cadillac. Take a look right now. New Escalade's in. So if you're looking at GMC Terrains, Yukons, Canyons, GMC Sierra pickups, the new 2024 is right there at spearfishmotors.com. Great financing incentives right now. Spearfishmotors.com. Jason Andera is back on the show tonight on my birthday show. I don't even think he knew this. So I'm putting him on the spot. Jason Andera, South Dakota High School football analyst. He's He's got a new show he's going to be doing called Inside the 605, so I'm looking forward to that. But it's my birthday show, and we're talking about a different question of the day, Jason and Dara. People are asking me, what is the best cake? What is the best cake? I said chocolate cake. My dad made an unbelievable chocolate cake, white frosting. That's number one. My second go-to, my wife makes now, banana cake. Have you ever had banana cake with white frosting?
Happy birthday, Nate. It's so good to be back on a special day like this, first of all. And you can't go wrong with pretty much any cake.
Okay.
So we're good with that. Have I had banana cake is the question.
Yes.
Oh, you have? Maybe not as good as what you've had, but yes, I've had banana cake before in the white with the cream cheese frosting.
Yes,
is that what you're talking about?
Cream cheese frosting, yes.
For sure.
Very interesting.
I'm gonna vote lemon cake though. Anytime you get a little lemon with the whipped cream frosting, that's where I'm at.
Wow, we got some wild people here. Jason Andero with lemon cake. Matt Kearney says ice cream cake. That's number one.
Oh yeah,
Matt Kearney, ice cream
that's pretty
cake.
Good.
All right.
Kearney.
Here we go. Let's get into this. By the way, you are over in Wyoming. I have to say, my brother played college football for the Wyoming Cowboys, and you now have a son that's getting ready to be a Wyoming Cowboy. What does it look like over in Laramie?
It's pretty exciting. My son is 6 foot, 115 pounds, and he's going to try to walk on and see if he can play linebacker for the Cowboys.
Good luck.
No,
good luck.
He was a band guy, now he's going to study astronomy, and evidently Wyoming has like NASA level telescopes or something.
Okay.
That's where he chose, and it is a beautiful little town, isn't it? It is great. I love Laramie.
It's great. It is great.
I'm on fire, and he moves in tomorrow, so I got to make sure I pull a hammy tonight or something so I can get out of that.
Good luck, man. That's a fun time for you. So congrats on that. Wyoming Cowboy from the Andera family. That's good. Okay, let's go to my other question. This is a real high school football question now. I threw it out to the audience. Pierre is going for state title number 8 in a row. I mean, it's amazing. 8 in a row they're trying to win. Their preseason rank in your coach's poll was number 1. You do the straw poll and people that respond to you. So Pierre at the top again. Would you pick Pierre or would you take the field? All other 10 teams. You got 10 other teams. Pierre or the field today?
Oh, man. First of all, every time I do a straw poll, almost every time, you're going to get a heavy bias toward the state champions, like coming back as number 1. You see that a lot. But Pierre's earned it, obviously. That many titles in a row, and they've done it with several different all-state type of quarterbacks. This year they come back with some experience on the defense. They've got Cooper Terwilliger, who's gotten 2 SEC offers, and he only played a freshman season with Pierre, so the talent is definitely there. Once again, I would have to take Pierre over the field, and I do think it's close, though. I do think it's close. It's not going to be a runaway. There's definitely some talent in AA this year, but you don't see T area quite as strong as they usually are, and they've been a threat the last couple seasons. And then some of those other teams, things are going to have to go right just number-wise to compete with Pierre. Pierre has just built such a great program over the years. They've got such great depth. The coaching is really second to none. It's such good coaching in Pierre. I would have to go Govs one more.
You're going Govs, and our audience says what? 68% of the audience picking Pierre, 32% picking the field. So people are going Govs pretty heavy to win 8 state titles in a row. That is something. Okay, let's go to AAA. So this is what people want to know out here with Stevens and Central. Central's got second-year head coach Brandon Colpitts, and I love his plan right now. He's got way more kids out. He's had great off-season buy-in. He's putting a culture together. I'm not telling you they're going to win a bunch. The culture is being put together. Stevens now, new coach, Patrick Town. Hasn't been a head football coach. Stevens is going to have to start there a little bit from scratch. When you look at AAA, what do you think of the overall layout?
You're right. I think those Rapid City schools are, they're trying anything they can to kind of get in the mix, and it makes it so much more fun statewide to see 11 AAA competitive when you get some balance on the East and the West. I agree. I love what Brandon Colpitts has done. He has been phenomenal as far as trying to stabilize Central, and I think they're a couple of years away from moving their way back up to the pack and being in contention. But I think this year it's a little bit too much of a stretch to ask them. I think you've got Stevens that's still working their way up as well. I think Roosevelt's going to be down this year with number-wise, and their best players are coming in are basically freshmen, a really good freshman class coming in, so they're going to be a little smaller. I think other than those three teams, it is as even as I've ever seen it. Over the last few years, what have we seen? We've seen Lincoln go undefeated last year, and they were pretty much the dominant number one all season. We saw Jefferson do something very similar just a couple of years ago, stay undefeated and not really have very many close games. We saw Harrisburg do that 3 years ago with Jacob Knuth and their company and go undefeated. And as the season wore on, you're like, it's going to be really tough to beat this certain team. Everybody I talked to in AAA this year says Lincoln's good, Jefferson's good, Washington is much improved. Brandon Valley and Harrisburg are always going to be good just because of their numbers.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, if I had to vote a number one right now, I might go with Harrisburg just because of the number of players they have back. A lot of coaches are going with Lincoln, but Lincoln only returns one starter on offense. That worries me a little bit.
Okay, that's a good heads up on that. Jason Andera sends out a coaches poll or a coaches straw poll, tries to get responses from the coaches before the high school football season. Who's going to be good? It's very interesting. Jason Andera's new show is coming up. It's called Inside the 605. Find him on Twitter X at Jandy Andera. 11A. So here's something out here. Rapid City Christian. They were just 9-man 4 years ago. 9-man. Rapid City Christian went 9-man to 11B. They started turning people's heads. They go to the semifinals. They go deep into the playoffs last year, and now they have to jump to 11A. How hard is 11A compared to B to you?
Okay, the biggest difference here is we've got 14 teams in 11A, but they're all really good. In 11B, the top 8 teams or so, I think, are pretty interchangeable, and we've seen this over the last couple of years when they've played 11A. The top of 11B, very similar to 11A, so I don't think Rapid City Christian's going to have a huge time assimilating into that 11A. But 14 teams in 11A, 30-some teams in 11B. It is really tough when you get into the playoffs to swim your way out of that big pack in 11B. In 11A, if you get your cards played right, if they win the games that are winnable on their schedule and get a good seed, we might see them go just as far or further in the playoffs than they've been. We've seen what T Area's done starting out as a 9-man team and evolving through the classes. People didn't think they could compete in AA. People didn't think they could compete when they went to A, and they were able to do that. We saw Sioux Falls Christians really build that program over the last decade, and I think Rapid City Christian is taking those blueprints, and they are definitely on track this year. Talent-wise, I don't know, man. I don't know if there's a better team in 11A. Depth-wise, there are some teams that have better depth than Rapid City Christian, and that's the key. You got to stay healthy all season. Some absolute electric talent on offense for Rapid City Christian. Can they survive an 11A schedule? That's the question for me.
I look at the first 3 games, Jason. They have Canton. I mean, that's unbelievable. Coaches are picking Canton number 1 in your poll. So they got Canton. They got Sioux Falls Christian. That's the team that's picked number 2 in your poll. And then they got Del Rapids, who's just been winning all the time. I mean, 3 straight games. That's a tough sledding.
Yeah, that's going to wake them up right out of the gate. I personally think Sioux Falls Christian is stocked and locked as the team to beat in 11A. Del Rapids, maybe I'll have to work through a few things before they can get back to where they were with a new coach. Canton is loaded as well. So if they can win one of those 3, watch out, because they could put a little run together after that.
Jason Andera in tonight, high school football analyst. The new show, we're going to be looking at that Inside the 605 with 605 Sports. And he's here on the Nate Brown Show. Always great to look at the coaches poll when you send that out, Jason. Good to have you, man. Good luck to you and the family.
Yeah, can't wait to see how this season gets started. And, good luck to you too, Nate. We'll see you around the fields here in the next couple weeks.
All right, Jason Andera getting set for a high school football season. High school sports analyst from Sioux Falls. He's in Wyoming, though. A little college move-in. Yeah, good choice, Wyoming. Picking the Pokes, Jason. I like it. His new show is going to be called Inside the 605. So where did the coaches pick Rapid City Christian? The coaches picked Rapid City Christian in 11A as number 6. Number 6. So 11A goes like this: Canton, Sioux Falls Christian, Lenox, Del Rapids, West Central, number 5, and Rapid City Christian, number 6. This is a coach's poll, straw poll. Not every coach responded, but he calculates what the coaches vote, and then he puts it in there. Okay? 11 AA rankings. Pierre, number 1, Yankton, 2, T, 3rd, Aberdeen, 4th, Watertown, 5th, Sturgis coming in at number 6. How about the Scoops? Coach Galetsky. The coaches say Sturgis is going to be a team, at least number 6 in AA. And then AAA football. Central and Stevens not getting any votes. The coaches in AAA go Lincoln 1, Harrisburg 2, Brandon Valley 3, Sioux Falls Washington 4, O'Gorman 5, Sioux Falls Jefferson 6. There's a coaches straw poll for high school football as we get set for the season. All right, let's go out to Williamsport. Sioux Falls Little League did battle against Florida last night. I thought they played well. That was tight. They lose a tough one, 2-1. What's next for Sioux Falls Little League? Their head coach, Nick Corton, joining us from the Little League World Series on the way.
This is the Nate Brown.
The incredible Renewal by Anderson Dog Days of Summer Sale is here, and I will sit up and shake for this one. It's the best offer ever for new windows and doors. Please listen to this. You get 20% off, an additional 5% off if purchased on the initial consultation. No payments for 24 months, 2 whole years, no payments. Please visit RBARapidCity.com. Call today. Schedule your free in-home consultation. Don't wait. This deal ends August 31st. 2 years, no payments. That's doggone awesome.
We are number 1. So you can always be their number 1. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number 1 hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Banker.
Nearly 150 years ago, Americans didn't race across the plains to settle. They pioneered. They toiled and ground the land into the world we know today, creating opportunities, not just for themselves, but for future generations. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Member FDIC.
Ready to be part of something big? Meet the Rapid City Sports Commission, the powerhouse behind sports in Rapid City. The commission focuses on bringing regional and national tournaments, supporting homegrown events, and creating opportunities for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
If you're grilling this weekend, be sure to have plenty of Village Hearth buns on hand. Fancy equipment and secret sauces are great, but once you've mastered the basics, it's all about the bun. Your perfectly grilled burgers and hot dogs deserve the best, and with several varieties to choose from, including unsliced old-fashioned, classic white or wheat, country potato, and mini sliders, the bakers of Village Hearth have the buns your family will love. Village Hearth buns, locally baked and delivered fresh daily.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Jensen at Physio. We want to be your trusted partner for physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab. As the official strength and conditioning partners for Stevens, Central, Douglas, and the Rapid City Rush, our team at Physio is building the best athletes in the Black Hills. If you have an athlete in the family, we offer long-term athlete development at affordable prices for middle and high school students. We also have the only board-certified sports PT in Rapid City. At our brand new facility, Physio is ready to help you perform at your best. One-on-one physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab, all at one place. Get started at bhphysio.com.
Hey, it's Chris Broussard. Remember to catch the Odd Couple weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. And now, let's get back to Rapid City Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show.
It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Thanks for listening. We appreciate that. Spending time with us 4 to 6 weekdays. If you can't catch all of the show, go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. It's always available. We had Kalen DeBoer on a couple of days ago. Outstanding discussion with Coach DeBoer. Appreciate him staying connected with South Dakota. That's big. Head coach Alabama, of course, and we're all rooting for him. I just love his character, his leadership, all of his success along the way. It's quite the story from Millbank to University of Sioux Falls, all the way to Washington, the national championship game. And Kalen DeBoer joined us earlier. We had some great guests across the board. Brandon Stokely on this week from Denver, two-time Super Bowl champ. Colts wide receiver, Broncos wide receiver. So go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. You can listen to every show there when you can. Download it. Search The Nate Brown Show where you get your podcast, and we're there. Hey, out to Williamsport tonight. How about this game last night? I don't think anybody thought South Dakota was going to stay right there with Florida. I don't think so, the outsiders. I mean, you look at that Southeast region, they're always a juggernaut. I mean, they've won the World Series before, that Southeast region. So I don't think people thought South Dakota could play with them. Sioux Falls was there. They lose a tough one, 2-1 last night on ESPN. So Sioux Falls Little League's going to go to a Saturday game against Metro Division, the region Metro. It's Staten Island, New York. Team out of Staten Island, New York. That's coming up next. The coach of the Sioux Falls Little Leagues, Nick Corton. He joins us on the Nate Brown Show from Williamsport tonight. Coach, good to get you on. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. Glad it worked out to join the show.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. I know you're busy. You've done a lot of stuff with ESPN and all the media stuff, so thanks for coming on in South Dakota. Let me ask you, last night, I said I don't think people probably thought South Dakota was going to stay in this, and nobody knows each year who's really good at the World Series, but what did you think of your kids' effort last night? A tough one, but a good Florida team. What did you think last night?
Yeah, I couldn't be more proud of the way we represented South Dakota and the Midwest region. You know, I think you nailed it. You know, not a lot of people gave us a chance in this game. There's a lot of hype around this Southeast team and that Florida team, and people have kind of discarded us. We haven't had any media attention, and we haven't had documentary people following us around. So, you know, we played our hearts out last night. We left everything we had out on that field, and unfortunately, we came up a little bit short. But I certainly think we made some noise around the in the league and made some teams realize that we're not down and out yet. We're here to play baseball, and we play a pretty good brand of baseball.
How'd you keep it close last night? Because they out-hit you. I felt like it was kind of close to being, oh boy, we might get in trouble here. How'd your guys keep it close?
You know, we had an outstanding pitching performance from Ryan Henry, kid we trust to give the ball to. He doesn't have an overpowering fastball, but he can spot it when he needs to, and he's got a pretty good curveball for a 12-year-old kid. And so we relied on that. But defensively, at the end of the day, it comes down to not making errors at 12 years old, and we made no errors last night. We, our outfield was spot on with getting the ball into the right bases and putting throws where they needed to be, and we really limited them from taking extra bases on us. And, those little things mattered, and that's what kept us in that ballgame.
Sioux Falls Little League coach Nick Corton on the Nate Brown Show tonight from Williamsport. They lost a tough one last night. It was a great effort. They lose to Florida 2-1. So now they have a game coming up Saturday against the Metro region. Staten Island, New York is the team. I saw this highlight, and I'm watching the highlights last night, and I'm going, oh, man, this guy's on SportsCenter. Your catcher, they tried stealing a base on you. They thought you were sleeping. He throws down his helmet and his glove. He tags him with just his hands. What a play.
That was an unbelievable play. That's one that we're going to see replayed for many years down the road by all the Little League social media. What a heads-up play. We had warned the kids to be ready for that. We had watched that Florida team do that a number of times throughout their state and their regional tournament. And, as soon as the pitcher turns their head or drops their head, they've tried to take extra bases. So they caught us, but Ryan got the ball right to home plate, And Kinnick Noble made an unbelievable play to barehand that and get that tag down. So
got it with
what
both.
a cool moment.
Yeah, he caught it with no glove, tagged with no glove. It reminded me of my wiffle ball days, Coach. I was pretty good at that back in the wiffle ball days. Okay, let's go to this next one. So it's hard to tell, kind of, can you guys scout these guys? Can you tell what's going on? Staten Island, New York, they lost as well. So what's it look like Saturday? How do you approach it? You wanted to win that first one, so you throw your ace. What does it feel like, the approach here Saturday?
Yeah, I think we're just hoping we can get back to what got us here. We kind of hit our way through the state tournament and the region tournament, and we're going to rely and hope our bats come alive again. We faced a really good pitcher last night, and he was throwing 74 to 76 miles an hour, and we just haven't seen that velocity. So he caught us a little off guard, but I feel like our bats are going to come back alive. We're going to put some runs on the board on Saturday afternoon, and hopefully come out on the right end of that one.
Nick Corton on from Williamsport, Sioux Falls Little League coach. He's here on the Nate Brown Show. Describe the atmosphere, Coach. We've had 2 Rapid City teams go back there. You guys have now, Sioux Falls has had 3 appearances back there. What's the atmosphere like in Williamsport?
It is something that is hard to describe to people. It's really surreal. It's, this afternoon's game that New York team was playing, there was 40,000 people at a 12-year-old baseball game. And they had a parade on Tuesday afternoon for all the teams. There was 30,000 people at a parade for 12-year-olds. It's like nothing you've ever seen before. It's really it's hard to describe to people, but they make these kids feel so special and provide such an experience for them that they will never forget. And I will never forget. And I've tried to tell the boys to enjoy the moment. And that's what's cool about this is they're 12-year-old kids. They don't realize the moment that they're in. So it's not too big to them. They don't realize at this point that they'll probably never experience anything like this again in their lives. And, that's what makes it so cool. We can have so much fun in the village with the other teams. And then it's just baseball to them. They're still just having fun.
Nick Corton's the coach, Sioux Falls Little League, back at the Little League World Series. Appreciate him coming on, Coach. I want to ask you about you guys have made it, Sioux Falls, now 3 out of the last 7 years, Little League World Series. And I look at just South Dakota. I said we made it back in the day, Canyon Lake and Harney out here. South Dakota making it that far. What's it say about youth baseball here?
Well, I think South Dakota has a lot to be proud of. These Florida kids and all the buzz around what's going on, and they're talking about their national rankings and all the, they're traveling all over the U.S. And I say, man, we play good baseball here in South Dakota. We had as hard a time getting out of our state tournament. We lost a game to a great Canyon Lake team. We had a great game against a Rapid City youth baseball team that gave us everything we wanted. I mean, any one of us could have won that state tournament. And so I think we got a lot to be proud of and a lot to build on. And I kind of like the fact that we fly under the radar, and then we can come to this tournament. And I know we lost, but I still feel like we got a good chance at making some noise here over the next week.
All right, we're watching it, no doubt, and it's a lot of fun. Nick Corton's the coach, Sioux Falls Little League. They play Saturday, Staten Island, New York, out of the metro region. Coach, good to have you on. Thanks for the time. Good luck to you.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate all the support from all of South Dakota, and heard from Canyon Lake's coach, Brian Tiedemann, this week, who came out here to take it in with his son, and we appreciate the support. And, South Dakota rooting for us, and we'd be doing the same. So thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's well said. Well said. I was watching last night hoping, can they pull this out? Can they pull this out? I mean, it was close. It was close. I don't think anybody saw that coming. Florida just nipped them 2-1 last night. That was a tough opening draw for Sioux Falls. Tough opening draw there. So Saturday's the next one for Sioux Falls Little League. Their coach there, Nick Corton, on the Nate Brown Show tonight. All right, good stuff. Who's hot and who's not? We wrap up the show. This is a wild story out of college sports. We got a problem. next.
From high school to college to the pros, this is the Nate Brown Show on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapid City.
Hi, it's Nate Brown for Weather-Tight Exteriors. We all love the warm weather that summer brings to the Black Hills, but with that warm weather, we all know that storms can pop up and do some damage to our homes. That's actually just what happened to me. And when that happens, the company you can count on is Weather-Tight Exteriors. They've won Best of the Black Hills 5 years in a row. I'm working with them right now, and I'm 100% satisfied. When it comes to your home, work with someone you can count on. Learn more at weathertight.com. They'll stand behind their work.
Attention please. The new loaded cheesy ranch sticks at Pizza Ranch are loaded with flavor. Skillet crust, melty cheese, herbs, spices, and now up to 2 of your favorite toppings like pepperoni, sausage, jalapenos, and bacon. You've really got to get a load of these. Like literally, get a whole load of them. Pizza Ranch, everyone's favorite buffet.
Stop into your local Pizza Ranch with 2 Rapid City locations. Their buffet open daily 11 to 8 and order online at pizzaranch.com.
Live from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Details Studio. Sales, service, and recreation. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
All right, it's been a fun show tonight. Good stuff across the board. JT the Brick joined us live. That was a great segment. Covers the Raiders, national radio host as well, Mad Dog Sports Radio. So JT the Brick was back on tonight. Jason Andero with a nice high school football breakdown with his coaches poll, taking a look at the season. So local, regional, national, we got you covered on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Go to the podcast. We'll put it up here very shortly. We are live with Who's Hot and Who's Not, brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. The best buffet in town. You know that, right? Fried chicken, salad bar, great pizza. They'll make the pizza that's your favorite if it's not out there. Buffet your way at the Pizza Ranch. Open daily, 11 to 8 on the buffet. 11 to 8. 2 locations in Rapid City. Hit the Pizza Ranch. All right. Who's hot category going to the South Dakota soccer rankings out today? South Dakota soccer rankings out today. And let's take a look at it. They open up the season this weekend. Rapid City Stevens girls ranked number 3 in South Dakota. Ranked number 3. So Stevens girls play Yankton tomorrow night, Sioux Park. And the Rapid City Stevens boys ranked number 4. Stevens boys number 4. So some good soccer. We've been used to that. Stevens girls number 3. Stevens boys number 4. Let's stay on the girls' side. Rapid City Central girls tied for 4th. Central girls tied for 4th. So some teams to watch this season. We'll see if we can get out there and cover it a little bit. We did that last year. I made my soccer debut as a play-by-play announcer, so we'll see if I can remember how to do that. We'll see how that goes. So good luck to Stevens Central as they open up this weekend. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not category, this is a wild story. Notre Dame suspended their entire men's swimming program today for a year. They say at least a year. Yes, here's what was going on. The investigation unveiled. They brought in a law firm. They looked at the investigation. The men swimmers at Notre Dame, they had a gambling scheme. They were going over-unders on their times. They were betting each other on who was going to win, who was going to lose. They had their own gambling scheme. They said the scope and extent of the behaviors was crazy, and they concealed it from the coaches. So that they went to great lengths to conceal this gambling scheme. So Notre Dame announced today they're going to have to rebuild the culture of dignity, respect, and conduct. The athletic director made a statement, and they have suspended their men's swimming program for an entire year, violating gambling rules and treating one another with dignity and respect is what they said they failed to do. That's a, I don't know, sign of the times. A lot of people throwing this out, throwing that out, and they had their own gambling scheme inside the program. Wild. All right, that's it for the week. The Nate Brown Show podcast, really good week. Great guests. We had a business trip to Sioux Falls. More on that later. And the Nate Brown Show podcast going up right now. The Odd Couple is on. See ya.
Sweet Jesus.
The other spends it throwing money at the pole. Can these two sports writers